Oh my gosh.
Welcome back to the Words from the Nerds, a podcast where we bring you all of our nerdy thoughts, opinions, and discussions on whatever the given subject is of the week. This week, it's a doozy for you. One that's probably a little bit late, but one that is right on freaking time. But first and foremost, I need to introduce my co hosts. I'm here with Aiden and Benjamin. But before we get to them, I have a little bit of housekeeping for you. Of course, this is the Words from the Nerds podcast, as I mentioned before. And each and every week, we are coming at you with a new episode. And with that comes your comments or your fan mail, if you're on a podcast listening platform of your choice. We will read aloud any comments or fan mail that you leave us at the beginning of each and every episode. Now, this week, we do not have any. We do not have a comment. We do not have any fan mail, as I am to understand. So
None.
nothing to read. Nothing to read. But we love to read. Ben needs some practice, so please send some stuff in. Send some
Also,
stuff
check out
in.
last episode if you haven't. We had a blast
Yes.
doing Jeopardy for episode 100.
Our 100th episode was last week. If you have not checked that out and you're a regular listener, what are you doing? Get on over there, man. Come on. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. Maybe I basically handed Aiden the win at the end. I don't know. Who knows? You should watch it and find out.
We never officially decided anything, to be honest.
We'll leave it to a tie.
But yeah, check that out and be sure to drop us a comment. We'd love to read them. But who should I start with? Because technically, we haven't been in here and talked in a minute because we did the 100th episode pretty shortly after the episode 99. So let's go with fake fan wearing the fake fan hat. Benji, what you been up to, pal?
Okay, here's the thing. I know that Aiden got dripped out for the movie. We saw the fit that he was wearing.
Sure.
Where is it now? I was wearing this last night.
It's 73 degrees in this freaking house right now, dude. I am not putting
Whoa.
that sweater on.
A cool
I'm
73?
sorry.
That's crazy. I dream for that right now, bro.
A horrendous 73.
I dream
God,
for
I
a
hate
73,
it.
buddy. Okay. All right, buddy.
You don't gotta
I'll put it on when we get to the
there?
review. I'll pull it out for these.
How don't you have it chilled to 73, Charlie?
Because I like to save money on power and electricity.
What's the temp, though? What's the temp?
In here, I mean, I don't know, probably mid 80s, but outside we're looking at low 90s. So, dude, my computer heats up this room, bro. It's insane.
How are you not just like dying of heat?
Hey, bro, all the damn time.
Good
all
for
the
you,
damn
good for
time.
you. I'm doing well.
If you see my forehead later on, it'll get glossy. You'll see. It's kind of glossy right now.
Well, that's because you get nervous around us.
All right. Okay.
I've been doing well. Excited to get back in and talk about the big projects that we've been previewing for such a long time. Jeopardy was great, but I'm also excited to get back to this stuff. I'll briefly touch on what I've been watching. I'll keep it pretty short and sweet. I honestly don't even remember, like, past a week ago. Doesn't matter what I was watching then. Nothing stands out to me. But within the last week, I watched the new Jurassic World. I don't think that we're ever going to talk about it in a dedicated segment. So
yeah, I watched that too. It's terrible. Don't ever go see it.
It was rough. Probably the worst of Gareth Edwards' movies, which I'm really not.
I'm very confused as to why you weren't glazing him, to be fair, but you were very excited because, like,
Dude.
sure, they're visually cool, but like they are lacking. Every movie that I've seen of his is lacking heavily.
I at least think they're pretty good, like The Creator is a pretty good movie, substance wise. It does look great. And Rogue One, I think, is a good movie. So, like, all that I was expecting is that not only would it look visually great, which it does. I mean, that's expected.
Mm-hmm.
But I also thought, like, this will be the best Jurassic World movie that we've gotten substance-wise. I thought it would clear all of the Chris Pratt ones just because, like, those were total just, like, cash grab dog water. So all that I thought is, like, okay, it's going to be a pretty good or a good Jurassic World movie, and we haven't gotten that in the modern era. So, like, That's all. I did not have like high expectations. I just wanted him to keep hitting where he's been hitting at like, you know, the 7s or the 8s range at his peak. And instead, yeah, I think this is probably his worst movie of the ones that I've seen. So
pretty bad.
pretty rough. Yeah, looks
Oh,
good.
that stupid little kid, bro. The boyfriend character, not funny at all,
Dude,
bro.
I
He
just-
actually ruined the movie for me a lot of the stuff he said, but whatever.
I was talking to my wife about this because we saw it together, and I just said that like them deciding to spend half of the movie with this other random family that they introduced just for like tension and to try and pull emotion. But when that's half your movie, you know that like just from the beginning, you didn't have enough to go off of. Because if you get rid of them, you're left with just such a bare bones, like 45-minute, maybe an hour runtime left of the movie with the main group of characters. And it didn't elevate it. I mean, some of the scenes were cool, but you know, I didn't care. I really only cared about like I thought Mahershala Ali's character was pretty cool, and I thought he did probably the best job of the main group of characters. But other than that, it was just kind of whatever. I don't know. Wasn't very happy. I will be bringing it up later on in the context of just all of these big releases that are happening right now.
You don't got to do that.
I got a reason to.
I think we gave it enough. I
got a reason to. The other thing that I watched is I watched the entirety of the 28 trilogy. So I watched 28 Days Later for the first time, and then 28 Weeks Later, and then I did watch 28 Years Later, which is those cryptic texts that you guys got a couple days ago when I was teasing that I was watching Superman early.
We all know why he got excited to watch that trilogy, bro. He wanted that alpha. That alpha D.
Crazy is I was going to make a joke that would have been a compliment to you, saying that you were a stunt double for that actor. I guess we're not going to get there, okay?
That's crazy. I've been flaming him all day today, chat. And then they roasted me in the group chat too, bro. I gotta say, hold on, let's just pause this because that was crazy, bro. Ben sent a little picture. He was making some Legos. He said the vibes are great or whatever he said. And I was like, I'm gonna come at him a little bit here. I said, yeah, maybe if you're 7 years old, buddy. And then back to back, I get Aiden. I know the last person to see Superman isn't talking. And then Ben comes at me. I know the person who can't see Superman in IMAX ain't talking. Holy shit, man! I just about sat down where I was at the mall. I just about sat down and started crying right then and there.
Dude,
that shit was crazy.
I sent it and I was just like, wait, maybe that's a little too me.
Yeah, I was like, damn, that one kind of. Now I know that one cut deep.
That was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And unfortunately, I will have to bring up IMAX stuff later when we talk about Superman. So, sorry in advance. But yeah, I watched the 28 trilogy. I thought the first one was fine. I was not digging it in the first like 30 minutes. Just very like dull, boring. But they were able to pick it up quite a bit and make Jim a much more interesting character. And I ended up liking it. I think I gave it like a 7. 28 Weeks Later, I don't think either of you have seen the second movie, the Jeremy Renner one.
I have. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, but yeah.
I thought it was pretty bad compared, especially like watching it pretty close back to back, just day to day with the first one. I liked Jeremy Renner's character, but it was just really hard to care about it. And then there's some just wild approaches that they take. Like, Charlie, you might remember what happens in the movie, but there's a part where basically the military almost like turns on the civilians in the name of like containing an outbreak. Like it goes from containing an outbreak to just like massacre, like kill everyone.
I do not remember that.
Yeah. And the outbreak only happened because of their incompetence. So like there's just a lot of weird, annoying things. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 10. It was, not very good. And then 28 Years Later, best of the trilogy. Easily best of the trilogy. I liked it a lot. I can't say that I was fully on board with it right away. And I honestly think I liked the final like hour or so more than I liked the beginning part. Like it was a fine movie throughout as they were setting things up, but really like when it was Spike and his mother and their journey, and then the stuff with the Bone Temple. That was where it kind of elevated itself a little bit for me and landed in a much better spot. Other than maybe the last 5 minutes, which I'm still conflicted on. I think
Wow, no, dude, that is pure cinema,
dude.
bro. I'm sorry.
I
That
don't
is
know.
like the greatest in any zombies, anything ever, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm conflicted. I don't know how to feel, but the only thing I'll specifically touch on, because we did talk about it, but the tons of cameras to do like the basically kill cam. They approached it differently than I thought they would. I thought it would be like, okay, somebody's getting like hit with an arrow or something, and then it would be like a slow motion as it's happening. We would like do the little zoom around as the moment is happening. Instead, it was literally just like freeze frame, whip around to the same moment. I thought it was more going to be like Matrix, where it's like you're seeing what's happening in slow motion doing the rotation. So I mean, I thought it was cool, but I actually think it could have been done a little better. And at some point, it just became like a trick that just like, I don't know, didn't really add too much for me. But
Bro really is a critic. That's great in the chat.
But I did really like it. I gave it an 8. So best of the trilogy for me, and definitely up there for this year for movies. So I think that's everything, other than, of course, I watched Superman last night.
Yeah.
So
Aiden, what have
That
you
is
been
all.
up to, brother?
Quite a bit actually. This was one of my more productive
boy.
past couple weeks.
Can't wait for this.
No, I one of the main things I want to say is this is gonna be a very big eat my own words episode.
Okay.
It's stuff
I
I'll get
love
into
that.
later about Superman. One of the big things is The Bear season 4. I rewatched it with my wife, and I know
Rewatch. So okay.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you've seen
yeah.
it
So
twice.
I've fully rewatched the entire season. We actually just finished it a couple hours ago. I mean, man, it's might be better than season 1, in my opinion. I think going into it, and I don't want.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think that's a crazy take. I don't think that's a crazy take.
Look, I think going into it with the notion of I need this to be very good, because this was like I don't want to blame it on the list, but you know, a part of it was like I need this project to bang like really hard, and this is coming from someone who didn't even hate season 3, and I was still in that mindset. So then every episode, like, because Charlie, I told you like, oh, once it gets to episode 4 and 5, it's great. But I feel like that's because those first 3 episodes, I was like, man, this isn't season 2 quality. This isn't what I needed it to be. But when I go back, knowing everything that I know about the show, and I rewatched all those episodes with somebody who's could care less about Rotten Tomatoes critics, whether it's good or not, like somebody that just genuinely likes the show, and like seeing her reaction to everything and like watching these episodes, I was like, every single episode is a banger, dude. Every single episode. I cried so much more. I laughed so much more. I just let myself go. I fell back and I was just like, let me just enjoy this. And I kid you not, I think it's better than season 1. It is a fucking amazing season of television.
It is a really good season, truthfully.
And I am infinitely like even more excited for season 5. So I will eat my words on that. Honestly, rewatching it, the B-roll and stuff, it wasn't even that like jarring.
Dude, I was gonna say, like, that was one of the main things I was gonna bring up to you, like when we actually got on here and talked about it, because like that was one of the main things you said, and I was like, dude, honestly, like every place where it was, like, it made sense to be there, and I don't think it was overdone. Like, I don't know.
I like I said, I'm fully eating my words, because I genuinely don't think that's the case, and I think a lot of that again was watching those first 3 episodes and being like, what are we doing? Like, I need this to be good. Why are we doing these B-rolls again? But going back and being like, I already know how I feel about it. Let me just go watch it. I was like, oh man, this is not nearly as bad as I thought it was. This is actually very great. So finished rewatching The Bear again for the second time. I absolutely love season 4. It's great. It's phenomenal. We'll talk about that next week in some more detail. I rewatched the Batman earlier today for the first time since I saw it in theaters.
What? You haven't
Insane. No, like I had
how
seen
have you
it.
not seen it? That's been like 4 years.
Yeah, I had seen it like every now and then, but I had never fully watched the movie and sat down and been like, okay, I'm gonna like rewatch it. Just 3-hour movie. Like there was always something else that I wanted to watch. I finally rewatched it today, admittedly for the first time. I like genuinely, I cannot comprehend just how perfect that movie is.
It gets
like
better.
seriously,
It gets better
dude.
every time I watch it. I swear.
Oh my God. Like just the whole first 2 hours is just the manhunt of the Riddler. And then the last hour is just a character study, breaking Batman down to his very core and leaving him off at being like, maybe vengeance. Bro, he literally says vengeance doesn't change the past for me or for anyone else. The city needs somebody to guide them, to like look up to. And like, bro, that journey of him just becoming the hero that he needs to be, phenomenal. Like that was one of the greatest rewatches I've ever had. I watched Sicario 2 nights ago.
Sick.
Long overdue rewatch. I love it. It's a 4 out of 5. You know, the action isn't even great and the character work isn't that great. It's just the ultimate like aura farming dude bro movie, which is fine. You know, it's Benicio del Toro is just like is just him. And I watched the first Christopher Reeves Superman. I thoroughly liked that quite a bit. I think I gave that a 3.5 out of 5 stars.
You watched that before or after Superman?
Before.
Okay.
I wanted to get a better idea.
Literally any of those.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and we'll talk about this later, but just to like, you know, to bring it up and foreshadow. I didn't realize just how traumatized I had been about Henry Cavill's Superman. I had always, and like, this is part of me just eating my words. And like, I don't even say that like fully joking. It's just like, I never thought that Superman was anything more than just an overpowered god in the sky.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, because of Henry Cavill's Superman and because of the things that I saw him in, never made me want to seek out other routes of Superman projects. I just never cared.
Dude,
and so I watched
to hear.
I watched the Christopher Reeves Superman. I liked it quite a bit, and then obviously I watched Superman. And so we'll get into that later. We'll touch on that later. But yes, that's all the stuff I watched. I watched quite a bit, but I wanted to eat my words real quick on The Bear. We'll talk about that next week, and then I got some other stuff to get into later. So yeah, a pretty productive week. Very great week.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing I'll say is I didn't mention the things that we're planning on touching on next week, which include Ironheart, The Bear, and Squid Game Season 3, which I'm not caught up on The Bear. You guys know that. You're expecting that. Okay.
Wait, where are you?
I'm in the same spot.
He has not touched, bro. When he got in here, he told me him and Reagan are watching Lost. They're watching Lost instead.
No, but that's not because that's not a show that her and I are watching together.
Sure, but you're using that time to watch Lost instead of The Bear.
And like, you know, watching the 28 trilogy, like I could have gotten a full season of The Bear with the first 2 movies.
Which truthfully, you should have.
Honestly, better off doing.
Better off doing that.
I'm getting on it, and I know I keep saying that, but I promise it will happen.
As long as you bring something to the table. You don't have to participate in full spoilers, but just bring something.
Preferably if you could bring at least the end of season 2 to the table.
Yes.
All of season 2, all of season 1 and all of season 2. That would be cool. But
okay.
If not, then whatever.
Great discussion. Yeah.
So I've seen Squid Game Season 3 and some of Ironheart. Not to foreshadow, but I've been struggling.
You haven't even finished Ironheart.
I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't even watched. I haven't even started.
Wow.
Like I got to be honest. It is. I know this is prefacing like a lot and giving too many spoilers for our next week's discussion. It is dreadful the thought of clicking play on another episode.
What? That is not y'all. Just you. That is insane. That is insane. That is an insane take. I can't lie.
I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
I'll get through it by next week, but that's where I'm at.
Dreadful the thought. Holy cow, man. But as for me, similar story. Just been watching a lot of stuff. The Bear season 4, finished that. Just started Prison Break. Not too far into that. But it's all right so far. Finished that one show, Animal Kingdom. There was another. Oh, Superman and Lois. I've been watching a little bit of Superman and Lois as well. I've been meaning to. That's been one I've been putting off for a long time. Really great stuff from that one so far. It was a CW show, but it was one of like the better shot CW shows. Like the cinematography and the lighting, the blocking, everything about it was was so much better compared
Even,
to like
visual effects and stuff.
yeah, compared to like the Flash and Arrow and everything. Like it's crazy how much like production value went into that show compared to the other ones. But yeah, I don't want to be too long in the tooth with that. It's pretty much been working on the video more. Posted a TikTok for the first time in 2 months. Didn't do great as expected, but that's okay. After 2 months of not posting, it's fine. I'm actually trying. I'm attempting because a lot of people say, "Oh, if it doesn't do well, just delete it," and then repost it. I tried that, and that didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. But yeah. So, with that being said, now that we're all out of the way, a little tiny list update I want to do, just because there's nothing that's actually changed on it. So I'm not actually going to pull up the graph, but I want to give a little update because this is the first time where we've had a swapped project, and the original project that someone had has come out with its scores, and so we could see if it was a good choice or not. And of course, I am talking about Benjamin with his choice to swap Superman for F1. And as we know, F1, as we know from 2 episodes ago, F1 netted Benjamin 4 or 5 points, 5 points total. 5 points total. And Superman so far, right now, honestly, a super shock that Superman is doing so well, as well as it is audience score wise to me. But currently, Ben would have the same amount of points if he had stayed with Superman. Superman would currently be giving him 5 points on the board, which I don't know if the Snyder fans are just not coming out in droves like they should, and not should. That's bad. Actually, I don't want to say that. They should not be coming out in droves like that.
Yeah.
But it's shocking to me that they haven't.
Dude, I watched the movie with a hardcore Snyder fan, so I'll get it. We'll talk about that. But yeah,
one of your friends. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if there was like somebody in the theater like, "Yo, this shit sucks." Like,
no. No, he's a friend of mine, but him and I, we've been seeing. Not as many, but we used to watch movies together a lot. And so even like before Black Adam came out and Henry Cavill was like, yeah, I'm coming back as Superman. Like that is his Superman. He is fully on board of like, give Zack Snyder full control of DC and let him build his universe, defending all of those movies. And even like after the movie, he walked in, we all went to the restroom and he walked in and he just started going, Man of Steel better, Man of Steel better.
That's
so
crazy.
We'll get more into that a little bit with some of that discussion. But
how are you feeling, man? You don't regret the switch at all?
Of course I don't regret it, but
because it's the same amount of points, sure.
It's the same amount of points, but the other thing is like technically if more people watch F1, it's 1% away from giving another point with the audience score because it's at a 97.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Superman, it's not going to get up to that point.
Yeah.
And Superman does have 336 critic reviews and sitting at an 82. If that makes it its way up to like over 400, which, it could, it's still early. Mm-hmm. I could see it dropping below the 80. So there's a world where this actually goes down to like 4 points and F1 goes up to 6 points. And then obviously I'll appreciate the difference, but
yeah,
still definitely can't be mad about the swap.
Yeah. It's still just a shock to me that because I was thoroughly on the same train that you were. That this
I was thinking 70s or 60s, like
yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the no-go train is what I thought, but whatever. That's good. That's great. We don't like review bombs. Look at my Last of Us season 2 score just for reference for that, but.
Oh, we do.
Without further ado, let's get into our first actual project. And I don't know if Aiden is having technical difficulties at the moment, or or if he's just off doing something.
Yes.
I saw him try to turn
I'm
on
like-
his camera, but I didn't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just fidgeting with something real fast. But
Okay.
you want me to start, brother? I can start.
No. I was gonna have us all give our quick like.
Yeah.
Okay, so for F1, the movie, starring Brad Pitt, dude, what's his name from Dune?
Oh,
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. Thank you, Javier Bardem and Damson,
Idris.
Idris. Yes, thank you.
Damson Idris. Yeah.
What do we all think?
Aiden, are you coming back for this, brother?
yeah. I'm trying to get this camera to participate. You know, this EOS webcam utility don't look too good on me right now.
There we go.
There he is.
All right, let's see. So what are we?
Let's give it
Shouting
a let's
something out? What do we got?
let's
What do we
give
got?
it. All right. What are our thoughts on the F1 movie? 3, 2, 1.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is like a halfway
Yeah.
absolute cinema. A halfway absolute.
Absolute
Yeah.
cinema.
I
Fully
think
in.
we all knew where Benjamin was going to land with this. I mean, he said as much before he got to watch the movie. But
Oh,
I think
yeah.
like me myself, obviously, like throughout the entire thing, I'm sitting there like. I think this meme's going around lately right now, especially after Superman. But like the guy from Top Gun Maverick, he's like sitting there with his fist like
Yeah.
like dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I think specifically about I think it's like the halfway point in the movie when they're actually no, it's relatively early on when they're trying to get their pit time up or lower, dude.
Yes.
When they're like, yo, we gotta lock in for this pit stop right now, and then everything's falling into place, and then they get it done in 2 seconds. I literally was like, let's go, man! Holy shit, that was crazy, bro.
Literally the like you could hear a pin drop as the like everyone's just sitting there in anticipation. And then like the way they filmed it and edited it, and then it's literally just like chills, excitement. It's such a rush. And there was like 4 moments like that for me, but yeah, just
it was
incredible.
it was very crazy. And like I don't know if this counts as a cinema sins issue or what, but like I point to like the main crux. We're gonna talk spoilers, by the way. The movie's been out for 2-3 weeks now, whatever. So if you haven't seen F1 and you plan on doing it, then thank you for listening this far, and we appreciate you. Maybe you skip forward to the wonderful Superman discussion we're gonna have later. But my issue is like there's they try to give Sonny like an emotional core in the later half of the movie. Specifically when he finally gets together with I forget her name, but the pit tech girl or whatever. I forget the actress's name too, but whatever.
Jodie Comer.
Jodie Comer. No, you're thinking of
No,
28
Carrie
years later.
Condon.
Carrie
Yeah.
Condon. Yes. Carrie Condon's character, when they finally get together in Vegas, and then she asks him like why he does it, and I think she asked him before, but he never really gave an answer. But his answer, which I thought was really good, and it could have been done even better than the execution of it all. I also have a little bit of an issue with, but my main point being, he says that like he's constantly chasing that feeling where he's flying, nobody can touch him. Right, his heart starts racing. That's the heartbeat racing thing. That I wish that moment, like it was still good, but I feel like it could have been better because like if there was actual like boom, and like or like where you heard his heartbeat kind of thing, I think it would have been better. Still a great scene.
You don't think the soundtrack for that specific scene, like I've gone back and listened to
Fire. It was really good.
because
Absolutely.
it has like moments of like bass hits of like boom boom and then like like it has moments of that.
Sure.
It's just like I get what you're saying though, but
I guess it's just like I imagined like it would be faster and like maybe it's more of like a calm, like he's in his element type thing, and that's why it's not so bad. But for me, like for me, it's like if we had heard it, if we had heard the heartbeats more prominently, I think it would have just landed a little bit better. But that's not my main problem with this. My main problem is that he says he's chasing that feeling all the time, and it sounded like, he might have even said that like he hasn't felt it in a long time. So tell me why he finally gets that feeling while racing F1 and then leaves, like he leaves every other race thing. Like he just does what he needs to do and then he gets out. Like that's what I just don't know if
Can I give my
I agree
answer?
with that. Yeah, go ahead.
Like based on his character and even where they take it after the fact, like his whole thing and his love of chasing that feeling, his love of driving, I think for him, and this is just like my opinion based on his character, is that he can only find that in one place for like a limited amount of time. Like he found it in this moment in F1, similar to how he found it racing in Daytona at the beginning of the movie. And then once it's gone, he's chasing the next thing. That's why at the end of the movie,
He did feel it at
goes
Daytona. Is that something that I just was like? Did I not get that? Looking back, I guess I'd have to maybe on rewatch. I don't know.
I'm not saying that specifically, but more just the general point of like he then went to be a driver out in the desert for people. Like he's always chasing that feeling, and he talked about even his other experience, or maybe it was Javier Bardem's character who talked about his experience being a taxi driver or whatever driver. Like he's always doing the next thing to chase that feeling and to pursue it to the fullest extent. But once he hits it, I don't think that he can just like go to the next F1 race and hit it again. Like it's such a special, sacred thing that you have to move on to chase it somewhere else. That's what I think. But obviously that's like reading very far into it and assuming a lot of things. So it's not clearly laid out. And I agree with you that they should have done more with it. I thought that about a lot of things, like even the little nuances of like the random card that he would put in his pocket and whatnot. Like I thought, okay, they're going to do something cool with a character moment between him and Joshua Pierce, which is Damson Idris's character.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do something like between them with that dynamic, that random little thing that causes us to care more about like their connection with one another. And instead, like they have the moment at the end where he like actually looks at the card for the first time. It's like, okay, you could have made a cool moment here if you had just like take the same pieces, but put it together a little better. So like as a whole, I agree with what you're saying about, they could have gone further with it. But I do personally think that whole like chasing that feeling, that to me was enough of a like message or takeaway, I guess, for the movie for me to really care about it, because the movie embodied that. Like I feel like the whole movie, and even that like the pit stop scene and whatnot, all of it was like I felt like I was chasing that feeling and experiencing that feeling, like the chills, the anticipation, the hype of just watching the movie. And like that's not something that I feel like I get all the time going to the movie theater. So that's why I really appreciated it. It's because it was almost like it did the thing that it talked about, our character learning. So that was although it could have done more with it, that was like the highlight thing that I like loved about it, because I literally experienced that.
I'm in a weird spot of like I feel like it could have done more, but then it also could have done less in certain moments. And like what I mean by that is having him crash a little bit towards the end of the movie. It kind of got to feel like, all right, now we're just kind of pulling conflict out of our
it felt like they were forcing stuff, bro. He literally told Josh, do not go for that yet. Wait, and then go for it. And Josh pushes the gun and he decides to go for it. And then tell me why for the next 30 minutes of movie, he's pissed at him. He's mad at him. He told you not to go for that. What are you mad at him for?
No.
Like,
guys,
what?
Come on, guys. No. That's the whole point of Joshua's character, the arrogance, the not willing to learn from somebody who, because of the age, whatever, the conflict between the two of them. And then he learned, he overcame, he went through the simulations and said, "No, run it back. I want to see what it's like." And then he realizes that Sonny was right. That's the whole thing. And then they're bond together. Like that's the whole.
How does he not realize that? How does he not realize that Sonny was right when he literally crashes and burns alive? How does he not realize in that moment? Holy shit! Maybe Sonny was right. I shouldn't have gone for that.
We need to pause for a second here because I could be totally tripping from what I remember watching, but I swear, I don't think Sonny and Josh were directly communicating with one another on the track. I thought Sonny told
comms tower. Comms tower told Josh. Sonny said wait.
To Josh, did they say Sonny said wait?
Yeah, Sonny said hold off.
Because I swear all I remember.
I could be wrong. I guess
was them saying like overtake him on this turn, whatever, at the end of this turn or whatever. I don't remember them relaying the Sonny said wait. I could be wrong about that.
He said be patient or something. I don't know.
I could be wrong about that, but either way, it still is an example of his arrogance. Not only is what caused that crash in the first place, but also caused him to be in denial and not even be reasonable and look into what happened. And like, he thinks he knows what happened. He doesn't think to blame. He just blames Sonny. He doesn't think about it any other way because that's who he is and how arrogant he is. That's what he has to overcome.
Well, and I'm willing to accept that. Like, I was kind of like, all right, man, like, yeah, you're kind of just mad at him for sake of the plot and for sake of like a Top Gun Maverick plot point where you're like, we need some more conflict between these two. What really got me was when Sonny had his car accident. That was whenever I was like, now it's kind of starting to feel a little bit fabricated. Like we need some extra bit of like tension. We need some extra bit of conflict to like push the rest of the story on in this third act. When that happened, I was like, okay, now it's starting to get a little bit like not fantastical, but dramatic for the sake of creating tension and for the sake of creating more drama between or for these characters.
Which are you talking about the crash that he was in order for Joshua to place higher, or which one are you talking about?
I believe so. I mean, it's been a month since I've seen this movie, but the because I know Josh crashes. That's the one he comes back and he's mad, and like in that moment, Sonny has taken over and is just like absolutely going ham. And then they get back at it with each other, and then Sonny crashes, and then Sonny's hospitalized. And then after that, Javier Bardem comes in and is like, "I'm not allowing you to race again. Like I'm not letting you." And then the mustache twirly villain, the stockholder, come on, come on. Here's one of the things I love about Top Gun Maverick. Yes, the countries aren't named because they want to sell, they want to get the most profit, like whatever. I would like to believe the countries aren't named because we're not supposed to care about that. That is not our problem. That is not our main conflict of the movie. That's not what we're here to deal with. Who cares? It could be anybody in the world. Who cares? Our main conflict in the movie is Maverick and Goose's son. I forget his name. Miles Teller's character. Their relationship is our biggest conflict. I literally look. I forgot to mention this earlier.
It's Rooster because Goose.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought that. I thought you were gonna tell me something. I was gonna be like, oh yeah, totally. I got Amazon Prime Day was this week, and so I got a new monitor, and it's bad. I hate the graphics on it, so I switched my number one to this one right here, which is what I was doing earlier. Anyways, so I sat back down and I was like, all right, where are we at? Fill me in. The main thing I loved about Top Gun Maverick is that conflict is with them two and their relationship. That is our main conflict of the movie. That's what they have to get over, and by the end of the movie, they do, and it's beautiful, tearful, whatever.
Yeah.
In here, I feel like you could have, and who cares if it's the same movie as Top Gun Maverick? Do it again, because that was a 5 out of 5 last time. That was one of the best movies of the year last time. Why do we need this villain who comes in and is like fabricating blueprints and is like mustache twirly? I really didn't like that. And, at that point, it kind of just felt like, all right, now we're dealing with them and we're dealing with this business guy in the third act. Like, then you throw in Sonny crashing for the sake of more drama. It just ended up being a lot. whenever I was just kind of waiting for them to wrap up the movie in a beautiful way, like Top Gun Maverick did.
I just
And so,
want to say I just found a clip, and they said Sonny said wait for the straight and then wait for the turn at the end and then turn. Well, I'm not saying it how Sonny said it, but
Yeah, but like, I don't know. For me, when Sonny's sitting there going, wait, and then too soon, it's not like he's telling Joshua that,
sure.
and Joshua's ignoring him. You know, Joshua thought he knew what he was doing. He thought he waited long enough, and he just, you know. And again,
But then still, even like, why do you blame Sonny for that? Then you jumped the gun there. Why do you blame Sonny? Like, why are you mad at Sonny? Is my thing. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, my defense of it is if Sonny tells him do it on this turn, make sure you wait, and Joshua thinks he waited long enough and he crashes, he could think, my gosh, I just listened to Sonny and I crashed because I was trying to follow his instructions. When in reality, he just did it wrong, and it goes back to the arrogance. Like he could think he followed Sonny's instructions, and that's what caused it. He just didn't follow them properly or do it exactly how he should have. Like, I don't know.
Josh is a crybaby, bro. Josh is a crybaby, bro.
Yeah, but Aiden, you're right about like the corporate heads causing conflict, and like you just could have not had him in there. And it, I mean, other than the fabricated build of the car permits or whatever, that was the one piece where it's like, okay, it's important to know like someone. Okay, that was the one part where it's like it's a little important to explain at some point.
But
how
the
something
bounce
like
back
that
from
happened.
man, that final race scene. Oh my god, man! It's just Sonny Hayes is just overperforming the character. Like he is just him. He is the coolest character,
dude. Aiden, as much as you hate, like, oh, he was crashed and hospitalized, causing extra drama. Him walking back down the race line.
Oh my! In his
just
jeans?
like at the start of the movie.
Awesome.
That
phenomenal,
is
dude.
Off the charts aura. Like
I loved it.
Overflowing. Insane.
I loved it. It was phenomenal. There was a moment where I was just sitting in the theater and I was like, I'm getting to see Brad Pitt on the big screen. Like that, what more can you ask for? Like, there's gonna be a point in time, Charlie. You said you'd be glistening. I'm glistening, moving these monitors around. There's gonna be a point in time where Brad Pitt retires, Leo retires, and like so every moment, I don't know. This might just be a way I think. Every time I see like one of these like movie stars that are on their way out, every time I see them on the big screen, I'm just like, like I'm here, man. Like him in his sexy white t-shirt and his blue jeans tucked in, man, he's just awesome, bro.
Dude, or when their shirt's off. Like I just
oh yeah, come on. Damson Idris too. I have never wanted to like look like someone more than watching this movie. I was like, I wish I could look like Damson Idris so bad, dude.
I think you're a little far off. You're a little ways off. I think you need a little bit.
I'm a little close.
Small little thing, just because Damson Idris was brought up. I've heard a lot of talk after this movie that people think he should be on the short list of actors to play the next James Bond. You guys on board with that?
Ooh,
I prefer him to be Black Panther if he's gonna put his time towards something.
I'd absolutely.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Black Panther has to be it.
If he's gonna be bought up for a couple years, I'd rather it be with Black Panther than James Bond. I'm not the biggest James Bond guy, that's why I say that. But obviously, I'd be very happy for him if he got that.
Yeah, I just think like an Aaron Taylor Johnson or like a Henry Cavill for James Bond. Like to me, those have been castings for a long time. But Damson Idris is Black Panther. Yeah, I'm there for that. I'm there.
Make the call. Did he not say he talked with Feige?
He said no. Or did he yes and no. He said he said yes, and then he said no.
And then they asked if he would want to, and he said yes. So
sign the freaking papers, dude. I mean, I know we're like or y'all are big, like it's just concept art, but man, that if there's any way that concept art was like true, or they had him in mind for that Black Panther sketch of playing, I think it was T'Chaka. I don't even think it was T'Challa. Maybe it was.
See, and that's the thing. I hope, like, if he does show up in Doomsday, I don't want him to be like a different variant. Like, I want him to be like the grown-up version of T'Challa's son, who is also T'Challa. and then now is going to be our next
okay.
Black Panther. That's
Okay.
what
Could you
I would like.
imagine? Could you imagine if they did like a younger Black Panther that like could be friends with like Peter Parker and like Johnny? So I don't know, dude.
Hey.
That'd be a sick new take, like a early 20s Black Panther. I don't know. Anyways, yes, they were both phenomenal. One, I can't believe we left her out. I was so happy that Carrie Condon had a huge role in this movie because I wasn't expecting that. Like I was not expecting her to be the love interest. Maybe I just missed that in trailers, or maybe I didn't just watch enough trailers. But as soon as they started to keep teasing that, I was like, dude, no way! Like this movie's gonna make so much money. She is like the third main actor in this. I could not be more happy because I think other than that, it's just Banshees of Inisherin, which is dog water. But other than that, it's just Better Call Saul, and obviously I loved her in Better Call Saul, so I was so happy that she got a huge role in this one. I was not expecting that.
People have been criticizing a piece of her character, not like anything to do with her, but the whole thing of like, okay, they made her an actual like interesting character and a good dynamic, and then some people are critiquing it by saying that at some point they belittle her to just being like the one night stand for Brad Pitt, like that kind of takes away from like what they established her to be.
Well, the end of the
Yeah,
movie kind of did make me feel that way. Like I was kind of hoping that he would want to just stay with her, and like I get that he's just like always on this next chase, which like yeah, I can buy in for that. A part of me maybe would have wished that he was like, I got my fix. I just got hospitalized. I'm a ride off into the sunset. With Harry Condon. I mean, come on. But so that I can see from like that point of view, where they just kind of reduce her to like oh yeah, he came in, we had sex a couple nights, and then he dipped. He's a mysterious character. I could honestly see that a little bit.
Yeah, it's just that
Ryan
like
Gosling.
they made her an interesting character and an integral part to the story, and then at some point she's wooed over. It's like people are just saying
That's
like,
true.
why did we have to go down that road? Couldn't she just stand on her own 2 feet and she was already a good part of the story? But
I could see that argument. I
Yeah.
still thoroughly enjoyed her addition a lot. I'm a big Carrie Condon guy, so
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like oh, I was just about to like drop a huge spoiler. I was about to say it's just like seeing so and so pop up in this project from Better Call Saul, and I was like, oh yeah, let me chill out.
We got to talk about the racing scenes. I think I already said this, Charlie.
IMAX,
The whole movie's in IMAX. I'm sorry. It doesn't ever stop from the very beginning. Sonny
But
in
you
his
could stop
trailer.
though. You could stop bringing it up though. That's what you could
I'm
do.
sorry. It's
Yeah,
because
man.
like, okay, these are the movies though. This movie looked literally flawless.
Yeah.
Absolutely flawless. And part of that is like they went for so much realism. They did a lot of stuff for real. But I also have seen the interviews of Joseph Kaczynski, the director, talking about it and saying that there's actually so much invisible visual effects that you're just like not even looking for, like changing the color of cars or just a bunch of random little things that you wouldn't even know that they had to do to get this movie to this point. And it just like doesn't catch your eye because it's a lot different than watching like a comic book film. So like when it comes visually, I would say this movie, it looks flawless. Like there's literally not a single time where you can point to anything that looks bad.
Yeah.
And that's on top of like the camera techniques that they came up with, like the whip pan for like when you're on the front of the car and it whips back to the driver and stuff like that. Coming up with new mounts for cameras and the ability to control them like that. And I mean, you're in the driver's seat. It's shocking. I mean, it's not shocking because it's the people who figured out how to do it with airplanes, but like still the fact that they can keep cooking like this and it can look as incredible.
So
I don't care
then,
what they do next. Like I'm
what?
there
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
what I was gonna say. What's next? Like a speedboat?
He said this
movie? Like
actually.
you've done. Oh
He
yeah.
said that, yeah, in an interview, he said he was asked with Jerry Bruckheimer, who was one of the producers of the movie, and the interviewer was like, "Well, are you guys going to work together again?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, we've been working on a UFO movie," which so
No
they
way.
said it's been cool to be in that world. And then they also said, and there's a new Top Gun being made, which to me,
Oh,
I did
we
see
knew
that. I
about
saw that.
we knew about the sequel. I didn't know that they were already like tied to that. The fact that he's tied to that, I'm
wow.
like, okay, I'm back.
A
Like I'm in for it.
UFO movie? Oh
UFO
my
movie and
dude.
a Top Gun
You just blew
Maverick
my mind with
sequel.
that. I'm gonna be like thinking about that all night. A UFO movie with Joseph because oh my
Yeah,
god.
give them all
Sign
the
me up.
budget for that.
Golly,
Give
man.
them all the money.
Talk about the glaze in here, bro. Glaze in here is
Hey man, if
crazy.
you were there in IMAX, which funny you brought up if you were there in IMAX, man, you'd get it. We got out of Superman last night. It was my second watch of Superman of the week, and
Hey, buddy, give me 2 hours, buddy. Give me 2 hours.
Brandon's Brandon's wife was like, "Was that like louder? Like, was that louder than usual? Like, I don't know. Like that movie seemed very loud." And Brandon had brought up because they did just recently like completely renovate our. Well, this was when Brave New World was coming out, so I didn't get to see that in IMAX because they were renovating the IMAX theater. And he was like,
Must
"Well,
be
they did
nice that
just
your theater
renovate
actually
it."
updates it and renovates things and adds new stuff. It must be nice.
And so apparently it is supposed to be like a lot louder. But it's hard to like really differentiate that with like How to Train Your Dragon. I'm sorry, Charlie, I do not mean to do this, but like it's kind of hard to differentiate that when I go and watch How to Train Your Dragon, Thunderbolts. Like Thunderbolts maybe, but like, but then I went and watched F1. And
Your
there's
chairs shake a little more. They do.
oh dude, it booms and I just like vroom. Oh my gosh, like that dude, it was so worth it. And I will touch on that again later. I have to. But yeah, I mean those
yeah, we will.
IMAX racing scenes were just they were a sight to behold.
I think we're done talking about F1.
I have one more thing.
Oh,
I love this attention to detail in the final race when Joshua and Sonny are finally like teamed up. They're on the same page. They're in sync. Like, they finally form that bond. I absolutely love the shots where it's in the driver's seat and they'll turn the wheel and their hand will cover the camera. And then when it turns back, it's going between the two of them. It goes from like Sonny to Joshua. Like their
I don't
synchronization.
even remember that.
It's so significant to their
either.
bond together. Like the fact that they
But
That's
synced
crazy.
it with the filmmaking
Does
too.
sound cool,
I
though.
had to bring that up. Also, banger soundtrack, Hans Zimmer, absolutely peak.
still mad. I did not know that until the Jeopardy. That really makes me mad because then obviously I would have been like, Hans Zimmer, bro, I'm gonna keep a close eye out. But
Hey, man, maybe just pay attention when you watch your movies, huh?
hey man, maybe watch them in IMAX. Oh yeah, you can't. Next topic.
See, because I watch a movie and then if I like the soundtrack, it's on repeat on the car ride back. Like
Sure.
I'm there, So
Yeah,
I'm not a casual like you guys. The best on the soundtrack, it's called 3 Laps is a Lifetime. It's from the final race, and it's phenomenal. The moment we go from like the silence and the occasional like the beats that come in, and then at the end of the race when everything just floods back in, dude, it's incredible.
Wait, so Ben, where does it rank for you?
Best movie of the year. Best movie of the year.
Really? What? Really?
I'm sorry.
No, man, the glaze that this boy puts out, bro, is insane.
I mean,
man.
I figured. Wow,
dude, 9 out of 10.
Crazy.
I mean, all it had to dethrone was Sinners. So like,
I don't think this did that. I don't think this
ever
did
dethroning Sinners.
Sorry, but it's better than Sinners.
Dude, what are you talking about?
crazy.
That's actually crazy. Whatever, man. Whatever, man.
Bro, and that's because it just came out on Max, so I'm seeing all the edits of like last time I saw my brother, last time I saw the son, and I'm just like, this shit.
The story alone is just nowhere close to Sinners, man.
Is, like, I'll definitely be rewatching Sinners now that it's on a streaming service. But as I reflect, and we'll talk about this more very soon, But as I reflect on like,
It's
Bro.
number 9 for me.
bro, spoiling things, by the
I
way.
just spoiled it. I just spoiled it,
I mean, let's be honest.
it's
Let's be
okay.
honest.
I'll just like whatever. Anyways, continue.
So like as I've reflected back on things, I'm like, yeah, there's some movies where it's like, yeah, that's a dang good movie. But when I have an ethereal experience with the film where there are multiple times where I am levitating, there are chills, the hype, the aura bleeding off the screen. Like, I don't know, that to me brings me
Y'all
in-
got story? Nah, but we got hype moments in aura though. We got hype moments in aura though, bruh.
Y'all got good writing.
Yeah, y'all got good character development and writing. Nah, we got hype moments in aura though. Hype moments in aura, buddy.
But here's the
Oh
thing.
my
It's not that I'm just like, oh, give me a trash story and cameo fest and I'll be happy. It's not that. Like, you can't deny that this is still a good movie. Like,
Oh, sure.
It's a
Absolutely.
good movie. But then, yeah. I just gotta say, like, if you ask me which movie I'd rather watch, I'd much rather watch F1 than watch Sinners again. It's just true. I'm sorry.
I mean that's I love those takes for the sake.
That's the beauty of
It's
subjective
it's beauty.
of art being so subjective.
Yeah.
Even though some
love it.
people are out of their mind, and out of their depth.
I can already
But-
tell I'm gonna piss you guys off this whole episode.
Oh, let's go ahead and get
way.
into it.
That's
baby.
this boy
Let's go
just
ahead and get
wait.
into
Did
it.
this boy just
Let's go
spoil
ahead and
something?
get into it. Let's go
Okay,
ahead
all
and
right,
get
all
into it.
right, all right. Our next topic of discussion is, of course, the movie that a lot of us have been waiting for multiple years now. The official beginning of the DCU, which technically it already started with Creature Commandos, whatever you want to say, but this is the very beginning. Let's just put that out there. Now, it's crazy to think that this all came from some old tweets of James Gunn's being thrown out into the ether, and everybody saw them, and Disney panic fired him, and then Warner Brothers panic picked him up, and then Disney panic rehired him for Guardians 3, but then he had such a lovely time over here with Suicide Squad and everything that he decided to stick around, and now he's the Kevin Feige, one of the Kevin Feiges, Peter Safran being the other, of the DCU. And this was the first film to come out of that beautiful, happy accident that we all hated. I mean, I hated when that news came out, bro, and he was fired. Ah, man, that sucked. That sucked, man.
Pitiful. Yeah.
But yeah, Superman 2025. 3, 2, 1. My heart is. My heart is full, bro. My heart
Hey,
is full, man.
I need to say something. I need to say something right now. And I might piss you guys off here, but I need to say it right now. Best movie of the year.
What? No way. Wait. What? It actually, wait, hold on. Wait. But you like it more than F1? No way. Really?
Listen, because here's the thing. F1's been out for like 2 weeks. If we had talked about F1 a week ago, I would have said, oh, best movie of the year.
Sure.
It was true at the time. Now it's this. New top dog is in town. Oh my gosh. And here's I'll just mention this now so that we can stop, like, never talk about this trash again. The reason why I was going to bring up Jurassic World was because I think Fantastic Four is about to be a banger. So between F1, Superman, and if Fantastic Four hits, the generational run that we could have been on if it wasn't for the dog water that was Jurassic World. That's all I was bringing it up to say is like, literally my two favorite movies of the year came out in the last couple of weeks. Probably one of my favorites coming out in a couple of weeks. Like, that's
we still have more, but
yeah,
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Hey, Eddington next week. Also, kind of excited for that.
Bro, this shit just re-evolutionized every single thing I have ever like. This movie changed my fucking life, bro. Like, I'm not even lying.
Hey, bro.
This shit changed my life, bro. Like,
Cinema, dude.
like the character in my head that I had of Superman, the Man of Steel, the throwing a steel pillar into a truck to threaten and intimidate somebody, letting a courtroom blow up for aura moments. Like, I never.
He just stood in that shit. That was crazy.
Dude,
yeah, he sat there.
He just looked around. He was so sad. It was sad boy hours. That's crazy. That's actually insane.
Just no remorse. it completely turned me off from the character to where I didn't care to pick up anything about Superman. The only Superman anything I had before this movie came out was a compendium of All-Star Superman for this movie, so
Yeah.
that I could watch
Hey,
this movie.
okay.
It's a
Cinema.
I don't know. if
I-
it's
And
too
now
bad.
this, now this sweater again for
There
the
we
movie.
go.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, dude, this just taught me every single thing I need to know about who the character of Superman is, which I started to look into, and I started to appreciate like the weeks getting closer to it. Which like, but again, we couldn't talk about it all that much,
Yeah.
and so it just like lifted all my spirits to where whenever I went and sat down in the movie, just tears after tears after tears, dude. Like this completely. I told bro, I kid you not, in the past 6 years, I've seen 2 comic book movies better than this movie. The Batman and Across the Spider-Verse. That's it. Everything else in
Wait.
2019. Everything else in 2019
Okay, I
does
actually
not hold a candle to Superman.
I don't even think I agree with this, but okay.
Doesn't
I
hold
mean-
a candle to Superman.
I mean, hold on. That's like, hold on.
Here's all that I was gonna say. I was gonna
mean,
say, a top 10 comic book movies of all time.
damn.
Jeez.
Give it to
okay.
me at
It's-
6. Give it to
damn.
me at
Well, so here's the thing. All that I was going to say, and there will be some real evaluation here on my part once I see these movies again. I will be seeing Superman again in the next week. There will be some real evaluation here. I was going to say that I think this is James Gunn's second best movie behind Guardians 3, because to me, he finished off the trilogy. Like that is just like one of the best Marvel projects that probably the best that we've gotten since Endgame. Like I don't know if this first movie in the DC universe quite reaches those heights for me right now.
Mhm.
Now,
I think
both
it blows it
incredible.
out of the water.
dude,
I think it blows it out
I
of the water.
respect
I'm
that
not
so
gonna lie
much, to
you.
be honest. I respect
See,
that so much.
And no, that's the thing. I respect that, and like I'm very close to the same sort of idea there. For me, like because I going into this, I would say that I'm the biggest Superman fan out of all of us. Not to say that I am the biggest of all time. I love Spider-Man more than anything.
Yeah.
But I have like some issues with it that are more like not technical, but just I desired more. I feel like a lot of the take around the movie is that it was rushing through so many things. I have the opposite take. I feel like that I needed. I guess that never mind. That is the same. That is the same take, because there's some things I wish I got more of. A lot of people are praising like the Clark and Lois of it all. I actually wish we got a little bit
I wish
more of
we had
that.
more.
Yeah, I think
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I think the convolutedness of it and the whole like this is a comic book come to life. In some moments it helps the movie a little bit. It's entertaining. More often than not, it is a detriment to the movie because there are a lot more Clark and Lois I want. There's a lot more Clark that I want. I wish we could live in some of those moments like a little bit longer. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but I don't know if it's just this movie or if I need to go revisit his other stuff. He doesn't really let you sit in the moment too much.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
dude, and that's
emotional
my
moments,
number
I
one
just-
thing. Like I need to sit in those moments, bro. Like more than anything. And, oh, dude, there's one moment in this. We're not talking about spoilers yet. There's one moment where I feel like, and I'll just say it's at the very, 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 very end. Literally the end, the last shot. Like that whole thing. I feel like that was a decently long time, and that felt amazing. And the build up to that and everything that encompassed it, man. And I thought that was phenomenal. And granted, that's a different type of scene. Like I feel like it wasn't actually like super long, but the way that it was built up to and the way that the time that we did spend with it, it felt like it was earned and rewarding. And I guess I didn't get enough of that sort of feeling with a lot of the other things that I love a lot about Clark and Lois and just a Superman story in general.
The point where I disagree, like the people who are saying we didn't get enough Clark Kent in this, it's like, okay, we didn't get a lot, barely any actually. That didn't bother me in the slightest. I'll be honest. Like the only point of like weird like Simpsons level is like there's a point where when you're at the Daily Planet where like you kind of realize so
Clark hasn't been here like
Clark
at
hasn't
all,
been here.
and nobody's questioning that.
Extended vacation, whatever. That's the only thing that like I actually get caught up on. Other than that, like, I don't think that there was, for me, the balance of, oh, we needed more Clark Kent. I didn't personally feel that, mainly because I feel like we got a lot of Clark Kent through his interactions with Lois Lane, because even though like he's Superman in those moments, he's more Clark in those moments with her.
Yeah.
And for me, I was given enough between the two of them. Like their
I feel like even that still wasn't enough.
their conversation,
yeah,
I thought so. Their conversation that happens
Yeah.
towards the middle of the movie where there's something happening behind them. This was in the trailer, but that conversation in like the high rise, tears in my eyes.
Great conversation.
Literally
Absolutely.
tears in my eyes. Like I was.
You trust everyone. You think everyone's beautiful. Is it maybe that's the new punk rock? This is my man, dude. This is everything man should be, man. Come on.
And the thing that I feel that makes me feel like a little bit off about that is like, slight spoilers, but this is a very small thing. There's a conversation with her and Mr. Terrific when she's just like spouting off things in her head, like, and she's like, I was gonna break up with him. And I was like, what? That conversation did not feel like, I didn't get that vibe from her at all. And that's where I feel like,
how did you not get that vibe from her?
That she was gonna break up with him in that moment?
Yeah.
No, what? Absolutely not. She sat,
interview.
Yes, she came there and sure, after everything that happened with that was revealed about the message and everything like that, but she's sitting there like, that does not give me that vibe, but she's sitting there waiting, and she also hugs him. She hugs him, and then he says the thing that made her think like, oh, maybe I should question this. Like all these things happen before he says that thing. And in this entire time, I'm meant to now retroactively believe that in that moment she was thinking about ending things. Like I don't feel like I got that vibe from her at all.
She basically said that though.
That was such a lighthearted, she opened it. So you have a dog? And so she's going into that conversation, I'm going to break up with you. Like that doesn't clock to me. I don't know.
But like, at least from my perspective, the very beginning of the movie, and we don't see all of this fleshed out because they've been in a relationship for a little bit of time, but I thought that there was turmoil. The interview moment in the apartment, literally the end of that, as he's leaving, she is directly saying, basically, she doesn't think it's going to work out between the two of them. She doesn't know how it's going to work out, which, like, in other terms, it's kind of a nice way of saying, like, I don't think we should be together. So I absolutely was getting that vibe from her from those first interactions that we saw between the two of them.
No, and I agree. If she had said that after we had no other context with him, but after the interview moment, I agree with you. But I think that whole high-rise conversation leaned everything in the completely opposite direction from the very beginning of the convo. Like it felt like they both apologized for it. They both said that was a stupid argument and it shouldn't happen. He directly asked her what she meant when she said that, and it felt like such a resolution. But when she's telling Mr. Terrific, she's talking about it like the turning point for her and why she didn't do it is when he said, I love you. And so I don't know, like they're great. They're great actors. Absolutely. David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan, they have fantastic chemistry. They're the best Clark and Lois that I have ever seen. And I love Superman and Lois as well with, I don't even know the actors' names on that show. I do, but I'm forgetting, but I think they're fantastic. And I also Smallville. I love Smallville, Clark and Lois, but these are hands down the best. And I don't know, it was lacking a little bit for me. I wish I got more of them. And then there's also like, I feel like Lois was herself, like everything that she had going on, it was great. And I loved the culmination of it all. But like the very third act, like end of the third act, like when they're in the ship, like they got in the ship just to do what they did. Like, I don't know, like I guess to dive into spoilers just a tiny bit. Sorry for anybody who's trying to avoid them, but like they're in the ship, they're flying around, all they do is post the story and then they land and have it, yay, we're good. Like, I don't know, it seemed like we were like, they got in the ship, they were off to go do something, and then I just thought they were escaping
from what was happening.
And I get it, but like I just feel like there's a way to make it, I don't know, more engaging, but that's some CinemaSins level thing that I'm not that uptight about. But I don't know. It seemed counterintuitive. Like, it was just interesting.
I wanted to. You guys brought up just like not being able to sit in moments. I think there could have been more moments to sit in, but I actually like this is one of the criticisms that this movie is getting that I disagree with the most, which is people saying like, "Oh, there's a serious moment or there's an emotional moment," and then James Gunn inserts humor and completely kills the vibe. I think he has the best balance of that in this movie. I've been rewatching the Marvel films and just watched Guardians 2. That movie suffers from that, where there's something more serious or emotional or conversation happening.
I'd say
And then
except for
there's
Yondu's death. Yondu's death is handled pretty
I
well.
agree with that, but as a whole, the balance is not great. It's just not great, and that is a concern that you can have for James Gunn. I thought this was done incredibly well. There are so many moments that we can talk about throughout this movie where it's a very serious turning point or a big reveal for either us as the audience or for the people in this movie, like the people of Metropolis. Big reveals that happen, or even towards the end, emotional conversations with his family. Those moments are allowed to sit and breathe, and it doesn't just like kill the vibe with a joke. Now, yes, I would have loved more of those moments. I agree with that, but I never left a scene just like, man, I wish we got more of that scene. So
I
more of like the interactions, yes, like with his parents, absolutely. I'm like, there should
Sure.
be more of them in this movie, 100%. But it wasn't that individual scene was too short. There's a difference between those two things.
I would say it was too short. And here's like one of my
he had no time with Ma Kent. No time with her.
Not even just interrupted by jokes, because I hate that take, because a lot of people get what I'm about to say and interrupted by jokes in the same breath, and they say the whole movie's interrupted by jokes. There's this one scene where we're just diving into spoilers. Let's just go for it. Let's do it. Let's have this conversation. The black hole is tearing through Earth. He catches the building. The lady, which, oh my god, fuck, man, I like the hardest I cried throughout the whole movie. He catches the building. The lady drives off, and he's like just stands there, and he looks so good. It is such a like beautiful scene. And we don't get to live in it because then Mr. Terrific pops up and is like, okay, let's game plan. So that wasn't interrupted by a joke. It's more so just like, I would have liked the score to just like keep going and like to see him and like see these like people looking and being like, oh my god, Superman's here, because that's what this whole thing is like Superman is our symbol in this horrible time of need. And then the one other one is the fight with the knockoff Bizarro. He finishes fighting him, and then like he jumps up and he takes out all the ice agents. I mean the Raptors. He takes out all of the Raptors, and he's just going ham on them. And he has like his cool pose, and then it's on to the next scene. And I'm like, man, just like extend it a bit more. Have him do like some cool stuff. Like other than that, all we got was like the engineer and Ultraman. Like that was the only other like, let's see Superman cook right here. And so for that scene to be like that short, and then just to do all the other hand-to-hand stuff, like it's great character work, and I absolutely love it. Like that's not my issue here. My issue is it's just so short-lived, and then it's just on to the next scene. So a lot of people are like, he doesn't let you have a serious moment, or he doesn't let you sit in a cool moment. And it's like, because it's interrupted by a joke. And it's like, it's not the jokes, dude. It's just those scenes are cut short. And we're just on to like the next thing. That was like, because there were so many times, dude, my first viewing where I had tears in my eyes and I was like, this is getting to me. And then it was cut short and I was like, whew, okay, yeah, this is a good moment. And then it happened again and it happened again. Like I didn't get to fully just like Dune 2. I cried more during Dune 2 because of how great that movie was. I just love that movie. But I just feel like there weren't like, he just didn't let you really sit and just like, oh yes, like the score is hitting right now. He's posing with Crypto. It was real quick and on to the next one. And so I think a lot of people have been mistaking interrupting with jokes and just cutting the scene too short as the same, which I don't think is true at all. I think he's done great at that. Just like wish we could sit in it a little bit longer.
Speaking of the jokes, I want to say large part of them, they did not land for me at all. The jokes that were there, I didn't find them funny. I don't for the large majority of them, I did not find them funny. And which is odd for me.
Jokes. Did you like the Clark jokes of him just being like, yeah, like come on, that one hurts. Like, did you like the Clark jokes of him just like being a dork, or Because I
Sure.
loved those. I laughed every single time.
And well,
Like,
sure.
how do you work this thing?
We'll see, like the boyish charm of it all, I enjoyed of like the those sort of jokes, but I it's interesting for me because for a James Gunn movie like that's never the case for me. Like James Gunn project in general, like the jokes usually land. A lot of them just they felt very forced or overdone, which also James Gunn has had that problem with me specifically in the past, like just doing a joke too much. The crypto stuff comes to mind for me, like like crypto just being a bad boy and that's the joke. Like I get it, I'm tired of it. Like it's not. By the time they were in the pocket dimension and Superman is literally falling towards a black hole, I didn't need that there. I did not need crypto being a bad boy right there. Like that was not a funny haha thing, man. Like this is I think that's the kind of moment people are talking. Like it's not always like a serious emotional moment, but it's like a serious moment. They're heading towards a literal black hole. Superman's holding a baby, and Crypto's being a bad boy right now. He's not listening to Superman.
Put some respect on Crypto, man. What are you talking
I love Crypto, but the joke stuff with Crypto, I was tired of it real quick.
Here's the thing, like, okay, specifically that moment you're talking about in the Pocket universe, there are many moments in this movie, and there's other ones that I could reference as well, where my theater was busting out laughing and they thought it was hilarious. But like Crypto being difficult during that moment as they're getting close to the black hole, that to me was not like it didn't feel like it was supposed to be an in your face, you're supposed to laugh and think this is funny at this time. To me, it was just, this is who Crypto is. This is the situation we're in. So I didn't laugh at it, but I also I didn't interpret it as like, oh, this is meant to be humorous. Another example is after everything that was referenced with the punk rock bands, to go back to Clark's home. And then when the camera pans and you see the poster of the band,
everyone started laughing.
People started laughing. I didn't laugh. It wasn't everyone.
Yeah,
laughing
that wasn't played as a joke for me. I don't. Like, she just was looking at the poster.
But for me, that was more of like a more sweet and charming character moment of her understanding, like, like so this is actually who he is. Like learning more, like the personalization of Clark Kent / Superman. So I talked about this afterwards with some people of just like some of those things. Like my theater was laughing a lot. I barely like genuinely laughed, but most of the time it's because I didn't interpret those things as like, oh, this is meant to be funny. I interpreted it in a different way, whether that's just like, that's just who Crypto is. Crypto's a bad boy. But I didn't think that the whole purpose of Crypto is just that you laugh that he's a bad dog. It's more just, he's a part of this movie and Clark has to deal with him. It shows a bit of Clark's caring nature that he's like, I'm going to turn myself in. They'll at least, take me to Crypto. Like that whole thing of just like, he cares about everyone and even like Crypto. And then we learn, like, for me, the cherry on top is learning that was his cousins. And it's like, okay, that makes everything make more sense. This is not Clark's dog. Like, so for them to have a faulty relationship and for Crypto to be a bad boy, all of it makes sense because
makes sense. Yeah. And maybe like for me, the joke, like I liked the Eve and Jimmy jokes. I thought that was good. Like Jimmy just wanting nothing to do with Eve. I thought that was really good.
Can I just say real quick? I think my favorite joke of the entire movie is when she's like, Lex tortured a dog, and he's like, Jesus Christ. So good. Like just the line delivery was impeccable.
Yeah. But then I think of things like the what's their name? Justice Gang. And that was the joke. That was the joke that just the one time I found it funny was at the end with Metamorpho, and he's like, Justice Gang? That's sick. And then you're in, buddy. Like I liked it then.
Nathan Fillion, a comedic genius. I mean, just the facial expression is awesome.
Like I thought Mr. Terrific was great. I think he could have been in this movie. And I think as a general statement, I get the idea of like, why just throw him in by himself? Give him a little bit of a team. And I liked Metamorpho, who wasn't, really a part of the team.
His fight scene, by the way, Mr. Terrific. Sorry, I just have to say that fight scene with Lois, fantastic. Holy cow, of course. That was crazy.
James Gunn staple right there. So like Mr. Terrific was great. The other like Hot Girl and what's his actual character's name? I'm forgetting of his name.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah, thank you. And Guy Gardner, like, could have done with less of them, like less of them, which would have allowed for more of those other scenes to breathe. 100%. I absolutely agree with that. So yeah, that was one of the points of the movie where it's just like, I mean, it didn't bother me too much, their inclusion, but I also didn't care enough to like their inclusion too much. Other than Mr. Terrific, he was very significant. He had massive amounts of aura, I thought.
He's a goat, dude.
Only rivaled by Lex Luthor, who I'm sure we'll talk about. But
yeah. Oh, I want to say real quick about the Justice Gang, because one of the moments that I kind of think fell flat, which I don't think there's any way you could have done it with the story that James Gunn was trying to tell. I really wish there was a way that Superman could have shown up in Jahanapur when they were calling for him, and not the Justice Gang. That did kind of bum me out a little bit.
Hold up. No.
Well, because look here. I feel like I know, he's fighting Lex. You have that moment with Lex, and like the whole story is set up to like, Superman, I need you here to like save these people because the black hole is like, destroying the city. And if he wasn't there, that lady would have died, buildings would have fell on people. Like, I get it. And so that's why I say there's nothing you could have done with like the trajectory that the story was on. If maybe you like rewrite the whole third act, then there was, I wish when they held up the flag for Superman and the Justice Gang showed up, it kind of fell a little bit flat to me. I don't know. I would have liked Superman to save him.
Let me cook right here.
All right, this boy.
So this is similar to how you brought up with F1, the like corporate guy, and him being like a random thing thrown in the third act that was unnecessary. This is exactly how I feel about showing the conflict that was happening and showing that, they were about to be invaded, and then having the Justice Gang show up. My whole thing, and what I would have preferred, I thought that convoluted the third act a little bit, because we would just go back to it for little snippets and it felt so pointless. Other than the really good scene with them holding up the flag and chanting Superman, like that was good. But I think it would have hit just as hard if you didn't show that, but we just like heard, because we know the events that are happening, that there was an invasion that was destined to happen at any moment, whatever. Like, I don't think we need to see all of this, see the conflict, and we don't need to have the Justice Gang show up. Get rid of all of that. There's still the threat of invasion if Superman fails his mission. That is enough for me. Seeing it did not actually add anything to it. On top of the fact that, okay, Metamorpho was there. I'm pretty sure the only thing that we saw him do was take a giant hammer and like crush a tank. And then when we go back to like, oh, they're being thanked for saving the day, and like somebody's giving him a compliment about like, wow, you like did a good job. You should consider joining our team. I'm like, dude, all we saw was Green Lantern going like this, and then the giant hammer, and that's literally all we saw. Because
Hot Girl killed the president guy too.
That's true. But still, you got one little scene with each of the members, and Mr. Terrific was doing, more important things. But I think that could have been gone completely. Then
which I have to say also, real quick, just I like the way he died. Like as soon as he's about to hit the ground, just drop a thing in the water.
Yes.
That's
I did like that.
The editing was really good. Good.
I still think that you can achieve those things or have that threat looming and still do that as effectively without what seems like wasting time and taking away from what really is our conflict, which is Superman and the threat that Lex Luthor has brought to the world with the black hole and, tearing open everything. Like if you literally just focus on like that conflict affects everything that's happening in these foreign countries. If Superman fails, they will invade. We know, like, that's how the whole movie was set up. So for me, seeing it didn't actually add to it. I think you could get rid of it for me.
Well, I see. Here's where I'm going to push back, because I think that scene, I would actually argue in the other direction. I think we needed to see more of it, because I think that they set it up in such a great way that like both these things happening at the same time, the stakes of that are insane. And the fact that Superman couldn't get there because he was so caught up with saving, like we've seen this Superman care so much about every person and everything that to this giant kaiju he was fighting. He wanted to find a way to save its life. He wanted to find a way to not kill it, or at the very, if he had to, euthanize it quickly and as painlessly as possible. So for Superman to not be able to get to a place to save a bunch of people, I think that like the stakes there are great, and I think they're awesome. But with how little it was shown, because I agree with you, like all we saw of Metamorpho was smashing a tank, we saw Guy Gardner do his thing, and we saw Hawk Girl kill the president. Like that, the idea of showing it is to show that like all these people that were about to be their lives were about to be upended, they were about to lose their country. The idea of them coming to save the day and stopping that so nobody dies, there's no casualties, that's the main idea behind it. I feel like having it off screen and having it just be like, oh yes, all of that happened, it was foiled, I feel like that cheapens it in a way. I like the way that they were built, it was built up to, and I think it had a purpose for being there. I just think that show more of it. And I do agree also with Aiden. I really wish Superman could have been there. I think that like if they had written it in a slightly different way, because that could have been another like hype moments and aura thing where like they're calling for Superman, because that's such a great scene. We've seen it in the trailers. They're calling for Superman. They really call attention to the fact that they're calling to Superman, and he shows up and he does what he does best. I think that would have been great. But
sorry, I was just gonna say this is just another to like extend it on to the scenes that I don't think get to like that we don't get to stay in for a super long time. I was genuinely sobbing whenever like she says, "Hey, there's something on the TV I'd like you to see," and he sees that those kids are raising the flag up and that Jahannapur is about to get invaded, and Superman's looking at that. I kid you not, like I was like our first view, and I was sitting next to Brandon, and I was like sitting there sobbing, and Brandon turned over to me and he was like, "This shit means something," and I was sitting there like, yeah, dude. I was like, I genuinely, like, I was in tears because I was like, this is beautiful, dude. Like, I man, this is what Superman is supposed to be. This is awesome. And then again, Mr. Terrific comes at the door and is like, "Hey, there's something I'd like you to see. Get ready." And it's just like, oh man, like I was in the middle of tears. What are you doing?
I also, sorry, real quick. Sorry,
Yeah,
I was just thinking of this. I just want to say before I forget it, and because also I think showing that conflict, the entire point of not the entire point, but a large part of the plot and with what's going on with Johannapur or however you say that, the country's name, is that they do matter. The people there do matter, and that was Superman's whole point, and that's why he intervened. And so I feel like if having it off screen and where like you don't show anything that happened with them at all, that it's counterintuitive to that point of they matter and their lives matter, their country matters, their right to exist matters. I feel like that counteracts that. So that's why also I think it was important to show them. But sorry.
No, yeah, I mean that was all I was gonna say. Is that I love that moment of Clark just looking at the TV and being like, it doesn't matter what my parents sent me here to do. Like, Pa is right. These people need me. These people need something to look up to. I need to go be there. And then he even tells Mr. Terrific, like, they need me at Johannapur. And he's like, well, there won't be a Johannapur unless you come save this interdimensional rift. And again, this is all credit to Lex. Just, I don't even care about them. I'm going to tear a black hole through the earth if it means I'm getting Superman over here so that I can kill him. Like that. That is phenomenal villain writing, like top tier hater writing. So that
also like, phenomenal writing. The fact that he set this whole thing up just so he can convince the government that he can kill Superman. Like he didn't care about getting more money, or he set it all up so Superman would intervene and he could have a reason to kill him. Like that's fire. That's fire.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're all just arguing great plot points. Like that's at the end of the day. Like there's some things I would tweak, but it's all credit to Lex.
Here's where I'll meet you guys. If they were going to keep in showing the conflict that was happening, I think they should have, and Charlie, you kind of alluded to this, but tie it back into almost Superman has to make a choice or make a sacrifice, or like tie that more into like it's up to him. In a way, in the Pocket universe, when he's being questioned by Lex and then the Russian roulette is happening, and just like him not willing to answer questions, and boom, somebody deals with the consequences of that. So if it was that situation where it's literally Superman, like, can he be in two places at once? He has to either stop Lex Luthor and, you know, what's happening in Metropolis, or go and deal with this conflict where he's being called to go to. Like, absolutely, there's something there where him having to make that choice or that sacrifice or step up or figure it out somehow, or even that does cause some loss and some death, whatever it may be, that is a better way that you could tie it in. So I think I agree with you guys that, like, having it in there was not necessarily the issue, but the cop out of it's just the Justice Gang and they go and save the day.
Yeah. Yep.
I think is where all of us would say they could have done that better.
I agree. With
Yeah,
that.
1,000%. I really didn't. I really. It's not that I really didn't like it, but that was kind of one of the bigger faults. Was I was like, damn, man, why did the Justice Gang have to be the ones to? It's also great for them because, you know, they've gone this whole movie being like, look, we don't interfere with nothing. Like, well, there's no like, you know, just they've been so on the edge of just like, this has nothing to do with us. Like, who knows? Like, Guy even says, I mean, is Big Blue here to take over the world? Probably not. But like, is this any of our business to step in? Like, you know, whatever. And so to see them all come around and be like, we probably should go save these people. I think that's still good character writing for them. Like, at the end of the day, I just would have changed that decision if I were writing this movie personally.
Yeah. Something else I want to touch on. I don't know if you guys will have much to say about this because you're not the biggest Superman fans. But the idea of, hold on, I'm not trying to throw that in your face. I'm just saying.
Hey man, what are you talking about,
man? You got me.
Not even the right logo. Not even the right logo.
Is the decision with his parents from Krypton, Jor-El and Lara.
Yeah.
That's not how it is. That's not how it usually is. And
that's not how it is in the Christopher Reeves movie. So then I saw it here and I was like, I didn't know if I liked it too much. I'll say that.
And the thing for me, really, I heard about it from a coworker. I brought up, oh, I'm seeing Superman today, yesterday at work. And he told me that he watched a review and he told me that he was sent to Earth to conquer. And I was like, he compared him to Viltrumites. And when he said that, I was like, all right, this dude, in my head, I'm like, this dude has no idea what he's talking about. They have not marketed this movie like that at all. This dude saw something and he's just dumb. But then to see it in action and to see that, because I told him, like, if that's the case, I'm going to be pissed. And to see it in action and to see what happened here, I enjoyed the decision a lot because of what it does for his relationship with Jonathan and Martha Kent, his Earth parents. Ma and Pa Kent, because like I said, that very final shot in the movie for 4 to be like, he loves to listen to this message from his parents. It really calms him down. Yeah. And it is all of his home videos from when he grew up with Jonathan and Martha. Dude, I was, oh my God, I was there for that,
dude.
Bro.
And his dorky smile, like, yes, man,
dude,
yes.
I was in that so hard, man. And listen, there is definitely something to be said, and I know a lot of other bigger Superman fans than me have issue with it because, like, he also typically has a relationship, as much as he can anyway, because they're dead, with Jor-El and Lara. Like, he still loves them and loves them for what they did for him and the messages, that the things that they teach him through the AI thing in the Fortress of Solitude. But, and that kind of ruins that. This kind of sultans that a little bit. A lot of people thinking they might change things. Like, I saw a crazy theory that, like, the next one's going to be about Brainiac, and Brainiac intercepted that message while he was on his way to Earth and warped it so he could help prepare Earth for when Brainiac arrived. But then the message got broken up. Like, I'm not
vibing with that.
I understand people's like desire for that thing to not be the way that it is, but I think that it helps contextualize his relationship with Earth and being more human in a way and loving Ma and Pa Kent a bit more. Because, I mean, arguably, and this is just, it goes back to how they wrote this version of Clark and Superman. But like even earlier in the movie, like when he's on the phone with Martha and she's like congratulating him for being on the front page and whatever, like he's like, sure, he has a lot going on. I get it, but he just seems very dismissive of it. Like he's not like giving them his full attention. Cause like, I'm not, that's not to say that he doesn't love them. I'm sure he does, but it's just like, he was very, I don't know, he was brush offy with them, it seemed like. And then, so for that idea of his higher purpose to sort of be ripped away or just not what he thought it was, and it to take that away and make him more, as he said, human, and more doing it for his own volition rather than doing it because he thinks he needs to and he thinks he was sent here to do it. Just doing it because like that's the right thing to do is an even more Superman thing, and that's why I like it a lot. But I can understand why people, if you're a big Superman fan, you probably don't like it.
I'll be honest, for me, that moment in the movie where Lex Luthor gets access to that and then broadcasts it to the world, that was the moment in the movie where I was like, wait, they're cooking. Like, I'm starting to piece it together. Like, everything up to that point, it was a fun time. It was good, but that was the moment. Like, I literally, through that whole sequence of him, like, slow-mo walking through the crowd and whatnot, like, the emotional weight that I felt automatically of like what he has been doing for years now on Earth and this reputation that he's built, for that to be built on a lie from his own parents, like, I'm fully on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought that was when like when that became the crux of the movie. I kind of knew that they locked in for this, for me at least. That big fan.
I love that scene that Pa is just like, we're not here to tell you how to live your life. Like, parents are never here to tell you how to live your life. We're just here to guide you through all your dumb mistakes and you making a fool out of yourself. What makes you you is the choices that you make. Crying like a baby, just absolutely sobbing, because right after that is whenever he sees that Jahanapur needs him, and he's like that kind of, which it's so cool, and it's so cool that I watched Batman today because they have so much of the same themes. Like, I know I prematurely tweeted this out earlier today, but everything with like Thomas Wayne and Martha, like when Batman discovers that Thomas had sent Falcone to kill a reporter because he was uncovering dirt on Martha, playing it as kind of like your parents were corrupted and you're a part of this too. Granted, they go back and say like, oh no, Thomas Wayne didn't mean for her to get killed. He this was a mistake. And if you take that away and just listen to my comparison, having Batman, see something about like, my dad was also part of this corrupted government that I'm working so hard to take down. Like, what am I doing? Where am I supposed to go? After that, he inadvertently gets Carmine killed with the Riddler. But then at the end of the movie, it's just like, these people need someone to look up to. I need, like, vengeance will not change anything for us. And he becomes a hero. Same thing with Superman. Just, finding out that stuff about his parents, talking to a different parent figure, Alfred, and then Ma and Pa Kent, and then going on that journey to be like, no, like I am my own person. I control my destiny. It doesn't matter what my parents used to do in the past. Also, side note, would be perfect to combine both of them because they both share similar. The Batman and Superman are more similar than you think. Aiden, could put them in the same movie.
Do you want to hear what I've heard? I'll tell you what I've heard. This is the theory.
Both of their moms are named Martha.
Also, I want real okay, it's stupid. Real quick, I want to say when everybody was freaking out about track 7 before they got to see the movie, and how it sounds like the Batman track a little bit. It's so funny to me that it was playing. When the fucking Baravian president was just in his office about to go through the portal. I was like, yo, bro.
I was like, bro, is it not? It's so eerily similar.
No, it does. 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Anyways, cook.
So here's the theory that I've heard online, and even one of the people that I saw Superman with, we talked about this afterwards. He says that people think the reason why it took so long for Matt Reeves to cook up a script for the next Batman movie is because he cooked up a script for just his own Batman movie as if he was doing a part 2, and a Batman movie that would allow his Batman to then be in the new DC universe. And he's giving both of them to James Gunn so that James Gunn can figure out, do we actually want to do this? Do we want to go the combined route, have Robert Pattinson be in the same universe, combine these characters, or do we just tell Matt, go do your own thing, and then they'll continue and figure it out, whether that's Brave and the Bold or whatever it may be? That to me makes sense only for the sake of another thing that's been going around is like DC's goal is to establish some of the main characters and then do a Justice League movie. That's their goal to do in, a few years or whatever. So it's like Batman, integral part of that. You have to do that at some point. And the fact that we have Supergirl coming out next year, the Swamp Thing movie getting greenlit, all these other random little projects, and like a core character like Batman, even though it was originally announced years ago with the original slate, no updates on that. That to me, it shows that like behind the scenes, they are having those conversations. Do we just combine 1000%. This? And like
the cope is crazy right now. The cope is crazy.
That's not cope. Are you kidding me? Crazy. Those are two of the best superhero movies that we've gotten. The cope is
crazy, man.
Bro, that is the only
delusion.
That is one of the only other comic book movies in the past 6 years. I said earlier,
Charlie, you don't think they're talking about this? You don't even think they're considering it?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, you know what? No.
That's crazy.
I think those conversations would have happened a long time ago. Because what has changed? What has changed since the Batman movie came out?
The Superman movie is phenomenal.
But what does that have to? Great. What does that have to do with the Batman? What does that have to do with including the Batman into this universe? What does Superman being good have to do with this?
Because if it's shit, if the Superman movie was shit, nobody would have cared to combine universes. They would have said let Matt Reeves do his own thing. But the fact that it's this good, and
if Superman was shit, we wouldn't have gone. We're not going to go anywhere with the new DCU anyway. If Superman was shit, it's done. Wrap it up, buddy. I think only the Batman stuff is going to keep going.
No. A better way to look at it is the reason why Superman needed to come out to make that decision is because Matt Reeves wouldn't know everything that's happening in Superman until later on in the process. I mean, he just got a finished script. Superman finished a script, a year ago, maybe? And we know, we know he's been working for a long time. No,
because they finished filming a year ago.
Okay, whatever it may be, I'm just saying that I think the reason it could have taken a long time is because Matt Reeves and James Gunn and whoever else had conversations about the potential. And so Matt Reeves needed to get some information from them about what it could look like. So between doing that for them and doing his own thing to try and determine what direction they want to go, I think that's why it's taken so long. Now,
3 years?
Listen, if I'm totally wrong and we just get a Batman Part 2, everyone's happy anyways, right? Okay, but if they are having those conversations and that does happen, we're probably more happy.
Well, some people are more happy. There's a lot of people that don't want it to happen. I'm not saying that I'm one of those people, but there's a lot of people that do not want it to happen.
The only hesitancy that I have is I think on all regards, you could combine these universes, except for when it comes to the actual visual medium of how the movie will look. Greg Fraser, the cinematographer for the Batman, has such a distinct flair and it fits that tone perfectly. And I'm not saying that you can't have Batman be the same Batman or even have Gotham be the same vibe and whatnot. You can have a Gotham that's dark and a Metropolis that's super bright. But if you see this Superman and this Batman together, it will be a clash of tones because we're used to the Batman, the cinematography, how it's color graded and all the lighting and whatnot fit the vibe. And this Superman movie, super bright and colorful. I mean, it's daylight 90% of the time, which I appreciate even for action scenes that they're just just do it in the day, show everything. That's great. I love that. I don't know how you can reasonably combine the two where you don't make people upset that it looks too much like a Batman movie or too much like a Superman movie. That's the only part that I am not convinced of.
I can't imagine a world where there's this many people talking about how they would love to see Pattinson and Corn Sweat Superman together, where they would not see the reaction that everyone had to Track 7, the utter hype and freakouts that everybody was having, and not at least consider Is there a universe where we could pull this off and that we could
No.
do it? Why else would that script have taken so long to get in the hands of James Gunn? Why is this movie coming out 5 years after the first one?
No. Here's the thing. The other simple answer is that Matt Reeves is a phenomenal filmmaker who wrote one of the best superhero movies in recent years, and he wants his follow-up to be amazing.
I think that's
simple
more
answer.
cope.
He had a lot of personal issues going on.
Oh yeah, all right. Well, then now you're getting serious. We don't want to get
okay. That's a rumor that we heard. That's a rumor that we heard. But I don't want to dive too deep into that stuff. But also, I don't disagree that those conversations were happening. I think that they happened, though. I don't think that the reason that you guys put forth
they're already shut down. Like they happened, but that's it.
Dude, let's think of everything that's already greenlit. Like we're getting a Batman movie, Brave and the Bold, where the Robin in that movie, it's a Batman and Robin movie, and the Robin in that movie is Damian Wayne, Batman's son. How are we going to do that with Robert Pattinson's Batman, who's in year 2 of his Batman journey? And then there's already a dynamic duo movie, this is all canon to the DCU, dynamic duo movie where it's Dick and Jason, who are 2 previous Robins, who one is Nightwing and one is Red Hood now. We're already at the Red Hood stage where Jason died, came back to life, and is now murdering people. So how do we have all these projects and there's a Teen Titans movie coming out? How do we get to all this stuff with Robert Pattinson's Batman, dude? And now you could say, oh, maybe they're just gonna wipe all that away and do something different with it. Dude, you're not wiping away 3 different projects, bro. You're not doing that. That's not happening. 3?
Who said it's? You can have the dynamic.
The Brave and the Bold, Teen Titans, and dynamic duo. That's 3. That's 3, Benjamin. That's 3.
How can you not have dynamic duo without doing the exact Brave and the Bold story?
What? Say that again.
You do not need to do a Brave and the Bold story. For one, that we don't even know if that's still happening. Okay, that was
Brave and the Bold.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's still greenlit. Andy Muschietti's still attached to it. Unfortunately, Andy Muschietti is still attached to it. Unfortunately,
I thought the last update on that was that it's kind of an indefinite delay. They're not actively working on it. There's no script. There's no filming. There's no nothing. There's no casting of Batman.
I think I saw that they have some prospects for a casting of Batman. I think I do remember seeing that, but
here's my point.
I'm looking.
Let's say you take that away. They're no longer doing the Brave and the Bold. Okay. So they're not doing the story with Batman and with his son, okay? They're not doing that anymore. You can still do a dynamic duo movie with previous Robins if you set that up in a Batman Part 2 that is now written to be in the new DC universe. You can do that.
How far ahead are we jumping into Robert Pattinson's Batman journey then? Because he was on year 2 and never had a Robin. And now we're going to jump to the point where he's already had the first Robin, Dick Grayson, and the second Robin, Jason Todd. What? Do you know how far we'd be jumping?
Dude, all I'm saying is I don't know that answer, but it's not as if doing this new direction with Robert Pattinson's Batman affects 3 projects. You can rework it where it just changes 1, which is literally the Brave and the Bold getting replaced with the Batman 2. It's literally just swap out a project and then that can adjust the other ones to still happen. I think they're all way too early in development to be able to say any of this. Like, we don't know. I'm not even predicting that this is what will happen or even what I want to happen. I'm just saying.
I don't think actually we can say that they're too early in development, because isn't one of the things that James Gunn says that he doesn't greenlight things without a completed script, without a script completed. So the dynamic duo being greenlit and Teen Titans being greenlit.
But do we have a Brave and the Bold script?
I think that's the one we don't have.
Yeah, but
so I think. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, no, we can hear you. Let Aiden say his thing. Let Aiden say his thing.
One last. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna give the update on the Brave and the Bold. He said that there were no major updates. He said there's really no new updates. I mean, we're working on a script and we have a screenwriter who's hammering away at it. I'm very involved, and we'll see what happens next. I wish I had more news for you, but I don't.
So here's all I was gonna say, Charlie. Here's all I was gonna say. If Dynamic Duo already got greenlit and a Teen Titans movie already got greenlit and they have completed scripts, The Brave and the Bold does not have a completed script. So you can't say that those movies rely on The Brave and the Bold. They clearly don't.
Well, hold on. I didn't say that they did. I never said that they did. But the fact that those Robins even exist, if you're going to make those Robins tied to this Robert Pattinson Batman, who is only in year 2, that is, how do you make that work without a significant time jump that then angers a lot of people that we missed out on so many years of whatever this Batman has been up to? Because we love this Batman so much, we want and there's also now the threat of Penguin, and we're interested in what he's got going on, and we're gonna jump ahead to when Robert Pattinson's Batman is now 50 years old. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, give him the Michael Keaton treatment. No, listen, I mean, I don't agree. I don't disagree with the stuff that you're saying, and I think at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. I will still not rule it out until we actually see or have an announcement.
I would love to be wrong. I want to say I am one for having them in the same universe. I just think it's crazy hopium copium that we actually still think this might happen. Like, Aiden sent me the track 7 thing, and I was like, nah, that is not happening. It's not happening.
This is all.
No way.
Listen, I'm not even saying that I want it to happen. I'm just saying there are reasons why I believe there can still be ongoing conversations about it. And whatever that leads to, it is what it is.
Hopium is crazy.
It's not even opium. That's the thing.
Opium is crazy. Do not let it destroy your life like it is clearly destroying Benjamin's.
Oh
okay?
my god.
The delusions are getting to his head, man.
Dude, okay, can we talk about Lex Luthor a little bit?
Yeah. Yes.
Nicholas
Hoult. I said it first.
Phenomenal. Aura farming to the max. Incredible.
Dude, that last scene with him, man, when he's apprehending him. Oh my gosh, bro.
Here's my only
and also
critique.
I want to say real quick, that's another crypto moment. Annoyed me. I'm tired. Like, I was way done with it by then. Like, he's ripping up Lex, and then we're like, there's literally a solid moment where Lex is getting destroyed, and you're definitely supposed to be laughing there. And I'm just like, all right, man. Like, crypto.
I think it took away
man.
from Superman's speech to Lex, which again is another moment that I think was cut short. Not necessarily like for a little bit of laughs, yeah, but probably not the entire time. But yeah, I think regardless, that was cut short a little bit, and I really wish we could let him cook more, because I love what he was saying. I'm not an alien, like I'm a man, I'm a human. Like
That's
love
my
like,
greatest strength.
It's phenomenal. And I hope, dude, and he says, I hope one day you realize that it's yours too. Oh my God, man. To the man that literally created wars to kill him. He says, I hope that you also find that. Man, it's the best. Dude.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. The
like
one
we
critique,
turn the Lex discussion into how great Superman is again.
He's just so good.
The one critique that I had for Lex is a really interesting one, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me here. There's a line in the trailer, and the newest trailer really focused on Lex because it was the dialogue behind the whole thing. You know, it started out Superman, and it's him dialoguing the whole trailer throughout. There's a line in that trailer, and it's him screaming, "They chose him, let them die."
Yeah.
I always got chills and was emotional when that happened in the trailer. This is a very weird critique.
I hate that it wasn't in here.
It was in the movie.
It was?
Yes.
When?
So it's a moment when the portals it's splitting open, and the guy with the big mustache is like, Lex, we need to shut it down or whatever. He says, no, they chose him, let them die. That's it's in the movie. You'll see it tonight, I'm sure.
Tonight.
Okay. Yeah. In an hour.
But my actual critique, I think, in the context of what we were visually seeing in the trailer and how the dialogue was all pieced together, the moment hit harder in the trailer than it did in the movie. In my opinion, this is such a weird thing. That line is so powerful to who Lex is that I was looking forward to that line specifically being at a point in the movie where there's people being sacrificed, damage being done, and him just saying, I thought it was going to be a longer dialogue of talking about people's loyalty to Superman and how he hates that and it causes him to hate people. And then, topping it off with, if they choose him, let them die. Like, I don't care about them kind of thing. but instead it's literally just like a one-off line in a situation that doesn't like, yeah, there's a threat to people, but it just doesn't feel, it's not a direct thing that like Superman's involved in. It doesn't feel as significant as I thought it was going to. I know that's like a weird thing, but the trailer moment with that line hit harder than the actual movie.
I agree with that. And even though I don't remember seeing it in the movie, but I believe you that it's in the movie. I just wasn't paying attention for that moment. But what I will add to counter that is I think that there's the moment that we actually like see that and feel that with his character rather than him saying it is when they're in the pocket dimension and he's doing the interrogation scene.
Of course.
Literally picks a dude that helped Superman up once and gave him a sandwich for free. Domes this guy, kills him for that. Like that is insane. He chooses to kill this man because he basically talked to Superman a couple times in a nice way. Like that is that was chills throughout my entire body. But with what you're saying specifically about that line, I agree with you. Because especially like it doesn't land as hard. Also with like what it sounds like is that line comes after Metropolis is already evacuated and like there's no like direct danger except for heading to the other city. Yeah.
I also love the moment. It's such a little thing, but it got me both times. Is whenever he's walking past the window and he's like, come on, we're all evacuating, and he looks and then he like just starts sprinting and Superman just comes in and knocks him on his ass. Oh, it's just so good. He's just like, oh God, he's here. He takes off. I love it. It's just, he just made Lex look like a dork. Love it.
And I gotta say, like accompanying Lex Luthor, even from the very beginning, I knew that they were cooking when it was like them with the like pre-programmed fight moves and the examination, like just the control over everything. And it's the same thing. IDing the guy who helped Superman up. Like, you know, they literally got an ID of him, figured out who he was. Just like the pettiness, but also the skill. The whole thing is like he hates Superman so much that between his brains and his money, he wants to be able to overthrow Superman, a person who's just inherently powerful and loved by everyone. He wants to see that fall. And the way that they show that is incredible. It's great.
Also, one thing that I love so much is that at the end of the movie, after Superman has completely saved the whole day, Clark Kent still decides to put him on the cover of the newspaper and not Superman. I think that's just like, God, it's such a good touch. He's reading the newspaper in the fortress and the falafel man is on the front page. And it's just like, God, man, like it's just a great Superman, great Clark. I know we keep talking about Lex, but I love Superman so much. It's just, he's just, I love that small little detail is that he still decided to put him on the front page.
Small reference.
Instead of, instead of himself. I'm gonna watch my.
He said, anyway, dude. What? I'm sorry, brother. That's like the worst possible one you could choose to watch. Out of all the Superman stuff, dude. Listen, it's a good show. It's good. Of everything else, it is probably the worst. Like you could watch Justice League, you could watch Justice League Unlimited, you could watch the original Superman animated series, you could watch Smallville, you could watch Superman and Lois, bro. So many options that I would watch before my adventures with Superman. But you being an anime lover, it is anime inspired, so like you might vibe with it. It's probably more easily digestible. I will give the show that credit.
You calling me simple, man?
No, that's not. No, I'm saying the show in general, not just for you. The show in general is more easily digestible. Like I think it only has 3 seasons. Each episode is like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Like,
yeah.
It's, I guess I liken it to like an episode of a CW show, even though CW show episodes were like 45 plus, but whatever. But
yeah, is that about it for Superman?
No, I
watch other stuff, bro. Don't make that be the only Superman thing you watch, please.
The Ultraman twist, the reveal, of him being basically an evil Clark Kent, a clone or whatever. I'll be honest, that reveal came at the perfect moment for me, and the reason why is because as they like crashed down into the subway, and this Ultraman was getting up. This was the first time in the whole movie that I thought this. I was like, so who is this guy and why do I care about him in this moment? Like he literally just looked like a random soldier with the mask on. I'm literally just like, why do I care about
My friend
this
said
guy?
he looks like Black Noir.
Black Noir.
Yeah.
From The Boys.
He did a little bit, yeah. Literally in that moment I thought it, and then they did the reveal. I was like, okay, like as soon as I started thinking about it and caring about it, they gave me
That's crazy because for me, like
I-
it was literally when at the beginning of the movie with the Hammer of Baravia, I literally heard David like that. Is that David Cornsweet? I swear to God, he voices. He does the voice. I swear to God, I could be wrong, but that sounds exactly like him. And I was like, dude, is that David Cornsweet? And then when I saw that it's Ultraman under there, I was like, and then they did the DNA thing later. Like, how did you get in? It's tied to my DNA. I was like, all right, bro, that's 100%.
I don't know. Yeah, it should be easy to piece it together, and I just didn't. But
I mean, that's cool. I think that's a cool that it got revealed for you that way. I think that's the cool way to do it. Also, I want to say quickly about Ultraman. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, he killed him. He killed him by throwing him into the black hole." I can almost guarantee you, he will be back as Bizarro, because Aiden said knock off Bizarro earlier. I guarantee you, he's still alive and he will be mangled and gray and whatever and look like Bizarro. I can almost guarantee you, he survived, and we'll see him later.
Speaking of him being thrown in the black hole, the movie looked phenomenal. CGI, incredible. There's literally only two things that stuck out to me. One of them, Baby Joey. What are you going to do about it? And the other one was actually the moment where he got thrown into the black hole. And it's like, Superman grabs like the bus or whatever and like flings it down. And that's the shot of it like falling into the black hole. There's something about how like David Cornsweet's face was superimposed like in the bus as it was falling into the black hole, whereas like that just didn't look great. But literally everything else, phenomenal. The flying scenes, the fact that Crypto is CGI the whole time, like all of that is like unbelievable. Also, hate to break it to you, Charlie, the whole movie's in IMAX. I'm sorry. It is.
Actually, is it actually the whole thing?
It's the full thing.
And it's so sick, yeah.
The flying scenes, the action scenes, the aura scenes.
I was gonna mention earlier the music or like the sound. Dude, whenever he jumps up and does his like his heat vision and spins in a circle, oh, the sound design is so good. And in IMAX, it just echoes, or it's like, bro, it is. Oh, it's so good in IMAX. It's so loud.
Do me a favor right now. Shut up, bro. Do me a favor.
But Charlie, I thought you were kind of like, I don't know if IMAX is even like that different. Like, you guys are, IMAX is kind of whatever. So you shouldn't be that jealous of us.
I told you guys I changed my mind after seeing Sinners in IMAX. I changed my mind.
Yeah. No, but
F1
and Superman, those are.
You need to come y'all need to come try and take a trip to Dallas. Me and my wife are gonna go take a trip to Dallas to the 70mm IMAX for the Odyssey. I'm gonna hope that we get tickets and take a trip next year for it.
Real quick, speaking of the Odyssey, I wanted to bring this up because somebody said this about John Bernthal and wanted to get your guys' take. I bet Ben's gonna glaze the fuck out of this guy, but we'll see. We'll see. Somebody said that he has the same mannerisms with every role that he plays, and I 1000% agree. After seeing the trailer, what? But that annoys me. That pisses me off. Like it makes me think he's lesser. It makes me think he's lesser.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they know, and that's why they cast him in those roles.
But for me, like
there's just times when it works and times when it doesn't. Like it doesn't seem like that should be happening in the Odyssey. Like everything, like that time period, that does not seem like he should be playing it like he plays the Punisher.
Let me tell you something. Anybody have a story about Odysseus here?
But seeing John Bernthal do the same thing next to like Tom Holland, who's clearly putting in like a lot of effort to that scene. That's when it's clear of like, okay, there's a bit of a difference here.
That trailer in IMAX, my God. Gorgeous.
Dude, it didn't play. It didn't play for Superman.
What?
I thought it was guaranteed to play before Superman. I thought I saw that.
I saw it last week for Jurassic World, and then I saw online like, oh, it's still going to play for Superman. So John had not seen it yet. And I told him, I'm just like, dude, we're going to see the Odyssey trailer in IMAX. And what it did for Jurassic World is it went through the normal trailers. And then there was like a car ad for some Chevy or whatever. Who cares? And even then I was just like, wait, are they not doing the Odyssey trailer? But no, they did it at the end of everything right before the movie because it was such a special event. And so a commercial started playing and John turned to me. He's just like, are we not going to see the Odyssey trailer? I'm like, nah, just you wait. And then it went into the IMAX intro and I'm like, John, I'm so sorry. They didn't play it.
It's awesome. I mean, it's just so good. It's phenomenal.
I can't wait. The last thing I'll say about Superman, it's one of the most comic book movies I've ever seen. The fact that they are just like embrace the characters, embrace the wackiness. I mean, you had Superman going down a photon river into a black hole holding baby Joey. And it works. Like it wasn't scared to just do the thing. Mm-hmm. It was great. So I'm very glad that they did. And James Gunn continues to solidify himself as probably the best comic book director. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
just wait till the Russo Bros with Doomsday, buddy. Calm down, pal.
I like that little side eye you did. You didn't even make yourself get that out.
They have the most consistent record. Of course, they're 4 for 4 absolute bangers in the MCU. Mm-hmm. But let's be real. There are other factors at play here. I don't know.
I don't know. Ready to eat those words.
Last thing I'll say, phenomenal movie. Excited for a sequel. Excited to see what the rest of this universe has in store. And let's just hope that it can be a universe. And 15 years or so down the line, we can look back and go to the premiere of the Justice League movie and be there opening night for it. And so yeah, very excited. I love Superman. And that's something I never thought I'd ever say. So yeah, it was a fantastic time.
Gosh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
Where does it rank for your year so far? I guess does F1 slip into your top 5 for the year?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so can you give us an updated top 5 then? Because I want to hear where Superman lands and where F1 lands.
Sinners is still number 1 for me. Superman is up surprisingly close second, pretty close to each other. And then Thunderbolts and then F1. And then what was my number 5 before Warfare?
28 years later.
I'd put 28 years later above Warfare. So 28 years later, number 5, 4 F1, 3 Thunderbolts, 2 Superman, 1 Sinners.
Cool.
My top 5: How to Train Your Dragon, Thunderbolts, Sinners, F1, Superman.
Dang, Sinners dropped down to 3 for this boy. That is insane.
Listen, I mean, when we talked about it, I loved Sinners. It's a 9 out of 10. I think I liked it a little bit less than you guys did, and especially than Charlie did, just for remembering our conversation. So I really liked the movie, but even when we talked about the best movies of the decade, I think I struggled to even fit it into the top 10 of the decade for me. Which I don't think F1 fits into the top 10 of the decade. Superman,
Top Gun Maverick.
Yes. Oh yeah, okay. Top Gun Maverick clears F1, even though I loved F1. It's just
clears, really.
Well, what I mean is it's clearly a better movie. I don't know anyone that would watch the two and prefer F1 over Top Gun. That's what I mean by clears. Not that it completely gaps it by a ton of points or anything. But yeah.
My top 5, 28 years later, The Ballad of Wallace Island, Superman, Sinners, Knees Out 2. Which, funny enough, Austin Burke, I know I was looking at his Letterboxd earlier for some reason, and he has The Ballad of Wallace Island at his 3rd favorite movie of the year also.
Interesting.
I didn't know he watched it. I didn't even know that, which made me feel so validated. I was like, okay, cool. Somebody else is talking about this movie and somebody else loves it as much as I do. So
Austin Burke watches every movie.
Yeah. But I mean, if that is any other motivation,
more like Austin based with F1 at number 1.
Damn. Where does he have Superman?
Above Sinners, number 7.
Sheesh. That's just for this year, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ninja 2 clears that entire list. Not even kidding. But yes, continue.
With that, it comes the end of episode 101 of the Words from the Nerds podcast. Thank you all so much for watching or listening wherever you are doing so. We hope you have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, whatever time you're listening or watching us. We appreciate you. Again, I want to remind you all, if you're here, drop a comment. We'd love to read it at the beginning of our next episode, or drop some fan mail if you'd prefer to do it through that method. But also, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because we are coming at you with every week a new episode. Next week, as Benjamin mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about some ones that we've been a little bit behind on. We're going to be talking about Ironheart.
Talk about the Bear. Yes.
And the Bear season 4. Maybe no. I was going to say maybe potentially some Eddington talk, but I think we'll record before we all go see. I don't even know if we're all going to see it. I think me and Aiden are going to see it. Are you going to see it, Ben?
Oh, for sure.
I'm not sure, because I want to watch Superman again more than I want to watch Eddington.
Sure,
to be honest.
sure.
And then I have a wedding this weekend and next weekend's requires traveling to Michigan for like 2 days. So my weekend is a bit more full on top of work and everything else. So I don't know that I'll get a chance to go to the theater. Basically right when it drops, I'll be busy a lot of that weekend into the next week, and then we get Fantastic Four. So I don't know. It's not in my plans right now.
Jeez. I wish we had some more time so I could talk about that
teaser
Fantastic
for
Four
the
trailer
Fantastic Four today
that played before Superman. Oh my god, man,
dude!
I just can't. I can't. We have to cut the episode here because
okay. But yes, next week we're going to be talking about a lot of other things, some very very passionate things for Aiden and I, especially with the Bear season 4. But yeah, thank you guys again. We appreciate each and every one of you for sticking with us this whole time. Another little 2-hour stinker. But we will see you guys next time. Adios.
Sayonara.